me here, or probably 6, 7, 9. Why is it? I mean, okay, we are not questioning our teachers. You are not even questioning machines, your own programs. We started wondering why could it be? And not just teachers whom you look at every single day during your coursework. Even when someone from outside come to you, they want to talk to you, they ask your review. We find students not interacting with them as they should have been. So this today I feel, particularly now when we do not have face-to-face interactions, most of the teaching, most of the interactions are online through webinars. How can we question, or why should we question? Is something important which a student should realize to learn, to realize the purpose of learning something, to raise the curiosity in what he's learning or what she is learning. So I'm sure at the end of this webinar, all the students will be more curious, will understand why to question or how to question. And I'm happy to start the session. So welcome once again. Welcome to the webinar and welcome to the college. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Before I request Mr. Chandradasaka sir, Chairman CSI Hyderabad chapter, to give an inaugural note, I would like to introduce him to the audience with a short bio about sir. A Harvard certified global business leader and a dynamic Six Sigma black belt leader with over 30 years of year after year success in IT experience in customer relationship management, business growth and retention, employee engagement, program management office, end-to-end process management, and project delivery. Excellent team management track record by leading a 400 plus team for 5 years and overachieved revenue targets continuously by more than 30% each year. Recipients of various awards including Evaluator of the Year 2007 by General Motors, Employee Involvement Association, Best PMO by General Electric, Associate of the Year 2008 by Satyam Computers, currently serving as the Chairman of Computer Society of India, Hyderabad chapter, Board Member of the Global Cyber Security Forum, Secretary of CSI Special Interest Group on Big Data Analytics, Chief Editor for Visleshana, a SIG BDS flagship magazine, founder chairman of Matrix Institute of Technology, and a member of the board of studies for 5 engineering colleges. I would now request Mr. Chandradasaka sir, chairman CSI Hyderabad chapter, to inaugurate the webinar with an inaugural note.
Thank you, madam, for the sweet introduction. Good morning, all. We have a very interesting topic today for our webinar, in Art of Questioning, a Way of Life, and a very seasoned speaker in Professor M.L. Sai Kumar Garu to talk on this. The topic is very relevant to the current situation that we are in because of the COVID pandemic and the resultant destruction it brought in every walk of life. If you look at the current academic scenario, it is becoming fully virtual, thus makes the topic of this webinar more significant. In a classroom, the eye contact, as was mentioned by the speaker earlier, between the students and the teacher plays a very critical role. The teacher can gauge how attentive the students are and how the lecture is received by them. The effectiveness of teaching students in a classroom will definitely be much more when compared to online classes where the teacher cannot make eye contact and the student may be visible and may not be visible altogether to the teacher. Thus, the onus will be on both, on the teacher to see how attentive and receptive the students are, and on the student on what the point the teacher is trying to drive in. Look at the questioning as a tool which helps both of these perspectives. By the way, questioning is very essential in a learning and communicating process, whether it is a student teacher, boss subordinate, parent child. In Bhagavad Gita Jnana Yoga, there is a sloka Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina states very clearly to ask questions to gain knowledge. In fact, we have an entire Upanishad called Prasno Upanishad, which focuses on questioning and learning. I think it is appropriate to mention few quotations here. Warren Berger says, knowing the answers will help you in school. Knowing how to question will help you in life. John Allen says, for true success, ask yourself these four questions. Why? Why not? Why not me? Why not now? Bernard Hatch says, advances are made by answering questions. Discoveries are made by questioning answers. I remember another quotation. He who is afraid of asking questions is hesitating to learn. And mind, there are no stupid questions. Stupid people don't ask questions. A recent study says that despite the capacity of students' questions for enhancing learning, much of this potential still remains untapped. Observational studies of classroom and of tutoring sessions found that students asked few questions and even fewer in search of knowledge. As grade level increases, students ask fewer on task questions that relate to the immediate task and draw attention to themselves. This probably occurs because students do not want to call attention to themselves or because the teachers often do not encourage students to ask questions. The study also says that in recent years, there has been an increasing emphasis on the important role that language, discourse, and argumentation play in both the personal and the social construction of scientific knowledge. At the same time, there has also been a growing interest in the role of students questioning in learning science, as questions are an essential component of discursive activity and dialectical thinking. A key feature of scientific discourse is the role of questioning in eliciting explanations, postulating theories, evaluating evidences, justifying reasoning, and clarifying doubts. Simply put, the act of questioning encourages learner to engage in critical reasoning. Given that asking questions is fundamental to science and scientific inquiry, the development of students' abilities to ask questions, reasons, problem solve, and think critically should likewise become a central focus of current science education reform. I am sure today's webinar dwells on this. I would like to place my appreciation on record for MVSR student branch. The members are very active and quite inquisitive. Special mention to Professor Shirisha, Professor Krishna Prasad, and Professor Prasanna Kumar Garu. I sincerely thank the management of MVSR for the kind of encouragement and support they are extending to our student members. I am sure today will be a notable day for all the participants. Please make best use of this webinar and don't forget, ask questions. I wish all the best to the organizers, speaker, and participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request CSI MVSR Student Branch Counselor, Dr. Daggubati Sirisha Madam, to introduce the speaker to the audience.
Thank you, Harshita. It is my great pleasure to introduce Professor Sai Kumar sir, a gifted teacher, noted orator, able academic administrator, and a team worker to you all today. He is a strong believer in citizen social responsibility. In the last 5 years, he has delivered 350 plus lectures, conducted 135 faculty development programs and 130 SSDPs at various colleges and universities without taking a single rupee. Sir has trained 15,000 faculty members and addressed 150,000 students in the last 5 years. He has been conferred the award of International Man of the Year for IT education by the International Biographical Center, Cambridge. In grateful recognition of his service, the CSI has conferred on him the Patton Award. He served as a chairman, vice chairman, secretary of CSI. Professor has also been conferred with the Fellow Award of CSI. He received Inspiring Teacher Award from Inspiring Teachers Academy. Professor has trained several batches of IAS, IPS officers on use of IT and also corporate executives. He was adjudged as the best trainer Professor was a member on a number of recruitment boards, both in public and private sector. He designed information systems for district collectorates, municipal corporations, medical and health departments, Board of Secondary Education, Intermediate Education, and a number of public and private sectors. He was a member on PM's Steel Trophy to assess the performance of integrated steel plants. He was a member of CSI Nihalen National Level E-Governance Award assessment team for the last 15 years. Professor last served as a Dean Academics for 3 years at the Institute of Public Enterprise. He served as the PG Program Director for 7 years. He served as a Professor of Computer Science. He authored several books. For 4 decades of experience, in the last 35 years, he has conducted 300 training programs for the corporate sector. Thank you so much, sir, Professor Sai Kumar, sir, for accepting our invitation. Sir, you can take over the session, sir.
Yeah, good morning to one and all. My beloved friend Chandra and the entire MBS team. And I see Professor Badruddin from the Manu is logging there and a number of other people were there. Well, the session is Art of Questioning, a Way to Life for Success. If you really want success in life, you have to start questioning things. And since the session is on questioning, so I have to start with a question. And students, please take this question and see if you can attempt it. Are you an intelligent student or an intellectual student? Think about it. What's the difference between these two terms? Have we started raising questions and trying to analyze and understand what's the difference between these kind of terms? Majority of you are coming from engineering college background. Let me also put another question. What is the difference between engineering and technology? Have you ever thought about it? Start questioning everything. The more the questions you raise, that's good for you. Don't allow classroom to one-way communication. Make it a bi-directional flow of communication. Interactive sessions, you need to do that. You can create a safe space for deeper exploration of the subjects, whatever studying it, the moment you start questioning it. You need to go for more powerful problem solving if you really want to go depth into it, and that can be thought about it. Brainstorming has to be done for questions rather than answers. Some of you have been focused right from day one. Let's go back to the LKG classes. Our teachers have taught us A for apple. When you ask everybody, they say A for apple, A for... Nobody talks about other than that. Instead of that, why don't we say, tell me some words starting with the letter A. In a class of 30 students, at least 10 different words would have come up. That would help. So brainstorming for questions rather than answers makes it easier to push past the biases, whatever we have it. Creative discovery through open and honest inquiry is very, very much required. You have to be open-minded. You should be inquisitive in nature. Start inquiring everything, whatever is required for you to excel in a profession, whatever you've taken up. So creative discovery is very, very important. Through open and honest inquiry, you need to do it. Underlying the approach is broader recognition of fresh questions, often biggest novel, even transformative insights. Quite often, what's happening in the classroom is just transmitting the knowledge. No, sorry, that's not the need. You need to think about transforming yourself. You enter as a student in a BTech engineering college, and at the end of 4 years, you have to turn yourself as a professional. Are we transforming yourself? You need to think about it. Start going depth in the subjects is very, very important. It's not just reading the subjects, whatever has been given to you. Can you think on it? Can you reflect on it? Can you relate to the real life and question it? Knowing about it, not only knowing, doing is very, very important. Practicals has to be done by practically, not by observation. You can't say somebody, you do the practical and just observe it. That's not going to happen. You need to dirty your hands, and then only you can have the understanding can happen. In the academic institutions, we focus more on knowledge and skill, and the least is attitude. But on the other side, from the industry, they look at other way around. They say attitude is more important, then comes the skill, and the last is knowledge. So you need to look at not only your technical skills, soft skills is equally important, and you need to focus more on skill development. Like I say, my favorite example, I know what is biryani. If you ask me to prepare biryani, I can't do it. How to prepare is very, very important. So read. The more you read, that's good for you. Think on it, reflect on it, relate it, and reduce the whole universe you can think about. It is said in Sanskrit, Prashnena, Prati Prashnena, Abha Prashnena, Abhit Prashnena. Not only question, you should do counter questioning also. Nothing wrong in that. Don't be afraid of anybody. If you have doubt, please stand up in the class and ask questions. Why you're not asking questions? If you don't ask your questions, you are the losers. Please understand, teacher cannot go and search in your brain and see what this fellow has got questions. Not possible. You need to stand up and ask the questions. And all questions, whatever you have in your mind, you must raise it. If you don't raise it, nobody can help you. If you raise it, there are people to help you in finding out the answers. If you take a close look at the most successful people in life, if you take a close look at all those people who are successful in life, you will find that the strength is not having the right answers, but in making the right questions. They raise the questions and not the answers. Once you start raising questions, answers will come in automatically. If not today, tomorrow you'll get it. So you need to judge a person by his questions, not by his answers. What are the kind of questions you're raising? That makes the person. All professionals, you're all going to be tomorrow professionals. You need to ask questions. Tomorrow, let's say you're going to join a software industry. You want to develop some software. Unless you interact with the client to know what the requirement of the client is, what that application domain is, you will not be able to design and develop your software. You may be good in your Java, Bava, Giva. That's not going to help us. Are we able to analyze the problem? Are we able to understand the client needs? Are we able to understand the application domain? So unless you interact with the client, please remember, you have to go and develop software maybe in medical sciences area. Maybe you have to develop software in telecom area. Maybe you have to develop software in mining area. Maybe you have to develop software in agriculture area. What is the knowledge we have in agriculture or medical science or mining or whatever it is? So probing attitude is very, very important. Why ask questions? You want to seek some information from somebody. You need to ask questions without asking how anybody will give you information. To maintain control of the conversation, you have to keep asking questions. Otherwise, after 2-3 minutes, the conversation stops. Now, unless you push forward by asking questions, the conversation will stop abruptly. Or to express an interest in others. You want to know what, like you are fortunate to have Mr. Chandra here. Now, have we tried to interact with him? What the CSI can do for us? CSI platform can they provide us internships, or projects, or placements, and kind of things. It's an opportunity for you to interact with such people in the coming year. Or to clarify a point, you can ask for it. Or maybe you want to test the knowledge. I have another question. Sorry, my session is going to pull up questions. Have you ever thought about what is the difference between test and examination? You know, our teachers trouble us right from the school days, weekly test, monthly test, slip test, and finally they say examination. Have you ever thought about it? Test is based on a small unit or component, and examination is a comprehensive understanding of all the links, interconnectedness of all the chapters together. You need to have a comprehensive understanding of the subject. That's where examination comes in. So start posing questions. You need to think about it. And to encourage the thought process, you want to encourage thought process, you need to question it. Let me put a question for you. What is the difference between wedding and welding? Welding, you know that? And mechanical engineers, you should be knowing welding. And wedding, what's the difference? In welding, sparks come first and bonding takes later. Sparks come first, bonding takes later. In wedding, bonding takes place first and sparks comes later. It's a purpose, don't take it seriously. You need to have the courage, be brave, be bold to stand up and ask questions. It takes courage to ask a question. Have that courage. Don't be afraid. Don't be run away from these things. It takes courage to try something new. Have that courage. Explore, experience it, experiment something. Don't worry, when you start doing it, initially there may be some failures. Don't worry about it. Failure is also a stepping stone for success. So it takes courage to try something new. Have that courage. Let's say first time baking a cake. Yeah, it may get spoiled. Don't worry. Second time, third time. Yes, we will succeed it. It takes courage to break the ice. Have courage. That's where we say in the corporate world, when we meet for a meeting, we say ice breaking session. You need to break the ice. Start conversation somewhere. You start it. And it takes courage to grow up and become who really you are. It's courage. Because please understand, a lot of people are there. If you ask the right questions, 50% of the job is done for you. Are you able to ask the right question? 50% of the job is done for you. Questioning. Learn to question everything. Start questioning everything. The more the questions you raise, that's good for you. Whenever you go, whatever the technology you're looking at, whatever the place you're visiting, start questioning it. Why, what, and so on. Don't just learn to question what you read. Can you go beyond? You need to have the thinking skills. When I say thinking, you need to look at two dimensions. One is creative thinking, second is critical thinking. Creative thinking allow the ideas to come in from your entire team. Then the ideas come in. Let us put on a whiteboard. And then come to the critical thinking. That is what we call is convergence to divergence. Maybe finally out of those all those ideas we come, maybe one idea finally works out, we take up and start implementing it. Asking the right question is more important and also more difficult than providing the right answers. It's not easy to ask questions, let me also tell you. Quite often we see when I go on seminars and conferences, there are some people stand up in the audience and that fellow speaks for 15 minutes the questions. Is it a question at all? I say quite often say, please look at whatever you spoke in that answer is there. And the question should be short and sweet. You can't have 15 minutes long question. That's not a question at all. So you can learn a lesson day. Learning by creating curiosity you need to have. Let me pose another question for you. What is the difference between knowledge and skill? You all are doing it. The answer is simple. Make answers short, sweet, crispy. The answer is simple. Knowledge is what, skill is how. How you do is more important. What you know is not important. What you say is less important. But how you say is more important. How well you're able to do presentation in your seminars and conferences is very, very important. You may be knowing 100 things. There are some people who are good at subject, but they are never known to the presentation skills. You lose it. So start questioning things. We will continue to learning process as long as we live. Learning is lifelong. Please remember, don't think the moment I come out of the college, my learning is over, I don't need to study. Sorry, my dear young friends, learning is lifelong. Every day, till the last breath of life, you need to, because we're in the field of technology, technology is ever changing in nature. A lot of changes are happening every day when you get up and suddenly you find something new has come up. Some new software has come, some new app has come, some new technology has come, some new microprocessor has come. All that is happening. Students must learn to ask questions relevant and appropriate to the context where we are. Don't bring an irrelevant question. Then naturally the speaker will get angry, or maybe teacher will get angry, all that will happen. And you need to have sufficient, don't put too many questions. That's also not correct. That means you want to disturb the class. That's what people conclude it. How to ask the right question? The most effective and empowering questions is create value in one or more ways. What the value addition is happening to you or to the audience who are sitting there by asking questions. Is it really relevant to the context? Is what needs to start. They create clarity. Can you explain more about this situation? That's possibly one of the questions. That's a create clarity. You want to seek the clarity, so you say, can you explain more about this situation? Or maybe you want to construct better working relations. Construct, let me stress the word construct. Instead of, did you make your sales goal? Or alternatively, why don't you say, how have your sales been going about it? And third dimension you need to look at is help people to think analytically and critically. For that, you can say, what are the consequences of going this route? Can I reach in time? Is there hurdles? Is there too many traffic signals? All that you can study. So help people to think analytically and critically. What are the consequences of going by this route? The another dimension of questioning is inspire people. Inspire, ignite, and involve is very, very important. Inspire people to reflect and see things in afresh, unpredictable ways. Why do you do this work? There are ways. Inspire people, make them think beyond. Otherwise, you know, I have a simple question. All of you have done your matrix theory. Do you know how many methods are there to find the inverse of matrix? Maybe 1, 2, 3 will stop. There are more than a dozen methods are available. Each method has got its own pros and cons. Instead of that, blindly we're applying one method. Some of you might have studied sorting algorithms or searching algorithms in your data structure. Do you know how many methods of sorting algorithms are there? There are more than 200 algorithms available. Are we looking at which algorithm is best applicable in a given situation, or are we blindly following an algorithm? You need to analyze it. It's very, very important. So, why question anything at all? Before that, let me see how best you are at this point of time. What is the difference between attention and concentration? Quite often you go to schools, when we're making noise, our teachers used to shout at high pitch, attention. I don't know, what did they ask? Did they ever anybody talk about concentration? Concentration is much more important than attention. Is physical concentration and mental. You're able to concentrate on the subject which is being delivered in the classroom. Are we considering the work, what we're doing it? Are we focusing on concentration? So just attention is not sufficient for this next 45 minutes. You need to concentrate on this lecture. It's very, very not just attention. Is what you need to focus on. Why questioning enables you to know, uncover and understand a person. When you want to know about the person, in an interview, don't think we're really looking at your subject alone. We are also analyzing what kind of person you are. Enables us to uncover and understand a person, what the kind of person is. We are able to visualize how you react to situations, all that we are able to assess it. These will also help you to build the rapport to the people with whom you're interacting as a team or as an individual, whatever is happening. Helps you control the call, because you need to know, because sometimes people just call up and start talking so many things. Ask them, why are you calling me? To whom you want to speak? Otherwise, that will keep on some marketing. I will take up the call and start talking. We don't know what that is. So you need to know, are some real estate people, they just call up and say, we have plots and can you invest and so on. So much shit. All that they talk about. I said, first you should know, who am I? I am a retired person at the age of 67. I don't think I'd be investing anymore. Maybe my children will take over all those investments. Why are you wasting your time and my time? So you need to look at it. Helps you close the deal. If you really put the proper appropriate questions, you can close the deal in short time. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time and the client time also. What are the types of questions? Generally, we call them as two types. One is what we call is open-ended. That means the answer is long and elicit a larger response you want, and then it becomes an open-ended question. Or the other way is closed-ended question is a quick to answer, maybe yes, no type, maybe true, false kind of thing, maybe like multiple choice, A, B, C, D. So depending on the situation, you decide, do we need to go for open-ended question or a closed-ended question? Closed-ended question will save a lot of time. If required, yes, you need to go for open-ended questions. I would suggest 5 W's and 1 H. In a light domain, we call it as 5 F's and 1 H. What are the 5 W's? First and foremost, question yourself. What am I doing here, sitting in the college? My dear young friends, your parents are investing hard-earned money on you to ensure your future is safe. Are we utilizing the time? So what am I doing? Am I going to the college regularly? Am I able to concentrate in the classroom? Am I able to do the assignments from time to time and submit on time? And I'm able to utilize the library resources. I'm able to utilize the lab facilities, whatever is available to me. It's for us to explore things. And you need to also think about, why am I doing it? Am I the right person? Or am I going to take more time? Maybe take the help of the other person who can help you instead of wasting your time. When am I doing it? At what time you're doing it? Most often these days, students with due respects, you all have become masters of one-day batting. The other day I was addressing one of the college. One student stood up and said, sir, that's the old concept. Now it's only one-night batting you're doing. Sorry, just before the exam, you read and you'll pass the exam. But tomorrow when you come to the profession, you'll miserably fail. Please understand, when you in the exam hall, you may pass, yes, maybe 60%, 70, 80, 90%, all that can happen. When you come to the interviews for the campus recruitment, it is our discretion, whatever the question we can ask. It may be related to your subject, it may be related to the job which you are seeking, or it may not be related. Please understand this. I have a simple question. I mean, some mechanical engineers might have logged in. I have a very simple question. Can you tell me what is the difference between stress and strain? Don't give me your bookish definition. Assume you are sitting in an interview and the HR guy asks what is the difference between stress and strain. We are not thinking beyond. We just think about that bookish definition, what is taught to us in probably strength of material. We just present it. Stress is mental, strain is physical. When you go through a lot of stress, your face reflects on it. That is, can you make things simpler? Yes, textbook definition easily did. I'm not saying it's not required. but can you present it, make it? Let's say tomorrow your grandpa is asking for these things. Can you present it which he can understand it? If you really have the grip of the subject, yes, you'll be able to make simple the things, whatever people are asking for it. And where am I doing it? What that you're doing? Are you doing in a classroom? Are you doing in a reading room? Are you doing in a quiet, common place? Or maybe in a public place? You need to have a proper environment. You can't just go and sit in the restaurant where a lot of noise is going on. You can't sit and read there. It's not possible. Unless you're a saint. The saints are exceptions. I don't think we are saints. You need to question yourself, who am I? Maybe my friend is getting pocket money of monthly 5,000 rupees. Maybe he's a son of a rich person. But what am I? My parent may not be earning so much. You need to decide. And what the purpose of you? Maybe if some person would have come just for degree sake. Maybe you have come to make a career. You need to decide, who am I? And lastly, you need to say, how am I doing it? Am I able to improve a performance day by day? I have a small session, my dear boys and girls. Very simple session. Not very difficult, let me tell you. At the end of each class, based on whatever is taught that day in that class, can you learn? Pick up 2 keywords and learn them. That's enough for you. Just 2 keywords based on whatever is taught that day in the classroom. Can you learn 2 keywords with complete conceptual clarity? If you start doing this, you know what happens at the end of BTech? Assuming there are 6 subjects in a day and there are 6 days in a week and so on. If you calculate the whole thing, it comes to about 10,000 keywords of your own branch of engineering you have mastered. That gives you confidence and courage to go and face recruiters. You're all from engineering, majority of you are from engineering colleges. In your library, there are IEEE journals. Your teachers also must be making you to refer those IEEE journals. Majority of the students, when they come to interviews, they are not able to tell me what is IEEE stands for. And you have IEEE sections in respective colleges. Then what's happening? So you need to go depth into it. So that's what I said, whatever is taught that day in the classroom, from there can you pick up 2 words and understand it and do that, and at the end of it, 4 years of engineering, you would have mastered 10,000 keywords of your own branch. That gives you confidence. But learn with conceptual clarity. It's very, very important. You need to focus on it. Let's see what the kind of questioning strategies we can have it. Before that, again, you put a question. Quite often, when we come on, go back to our school days. What are the homework is given in the school? We used to finish and then go and ask mom. Mom, I have finished my homework. Can I go and play? This is a very, very common thing which we use this word in our school days. Do you understand what the word finish is? Should we say, Mom, I have finished my homework, can I go and play? Or should we say, Mom, I have completed my homework, can I go and play? Think about what's the difference between these things. Finish is with reference to time and complete is with reference to quality. Finish is somehow to finish and just go on and playing it. That's not going to help you in the long run. Sorry, you need to complete it. Focus on quality. What's the best way I can present my answer? My answer should be unique. My answer should be different from others. You need to think about it. That's where in marketing management they talk about it. USP, unique selling proposition. What is that unique your answer is compared to all others? All others might have written for the book. Can you think and present? That's where you think about completing, not just finishing it. So what kind of questioning strategies you can have it? You need to have frequency. Number of questions you ask over a period of time. That's what the forms of frequency. How frequently you are asking questions. You need to ask questions. And equitable distribution. Don't put 10 questions on day 1 of the week and remaining 4 days, 5 days you just silent. That's not good. You need to evenly distribute. All students in the class are called on equal possible. So all of you should take advantage and start doing it. And prompting, way of assisting students towards the right answer. Now you help your own friends, your own classmates, your own team members. By posing questions, you are helping them to move towards the right direction. Yes, what he's thinking is not correct. Yes, it makes you to realize and correct himself or herself what is required. Repetition. To consider a question that has been made earlier, please don't repeat it. Unless it's essential, don't bring in that same question, keep on asking. Naturally, the speaker will get angry. And pause between a question or the pause after you get the answer. Don't rush through things. Pause for a while. Think on it. What are the answer you got it? And maybe then think about it. After a minute or two, then maybe if necessary, if you want to seek clarifications, you can ask further. That's possible. Get into the root cause. Let's say, for example, let me take the example of mechanical engineering. There's a problem and there's an action. When somebody has gone to the shop floor, there's a puddle of oil in the shop floor. So naturally, you'll ask the question, why this is happening? Maybe because the machine is leaking the oil. You think about it. Should I conclude there? Or should we say, why machine is leaking the oil? Maybe because the gasket is deteriorated. That should be possible. Should I stop there? Or should I further probe it? Why gasket is deteriorated such a short span of time? Maybe gasket made of inferior material. Maybe that's made of inferior material. Should I stop there? Or should I probe it further? So you need to put a series of why questions. Go deeper into this, and you need to get into root cause. Maybe when you question on gasket made of inferior material, when you question it, the stores in charge may say, sir, we got a good price on these gaskets. Are you looking at only price point of view, or are you looking at quality of the gasket? Start questioning again that point. And maybe got on short-term cost savings. Look at when you start probing why at each level, you are able to go to the root cause. I would have stopped there. That's not going to happen. Now let's go back again. There's a puddle of oil in the shop floor. One action is clean the oil before the boss comes, and boss look around and he's happy there and goes there. Let's move on to the second step. Because the machine is leaking oil, fix the machine, maybe tighten it. That's one way to look at it. Let's move on to the third. Because the gasket is deteriorated, replace the gasket. That's an action you can think about it. Let's move on to the next. Gasket made of inferior material. Change the specifications of the gasket. Change the because that's not working in the present environment. You need to change it. The next one, we got a good price on the gaskets. Change purchasing policy in the organizations. Typically in the government environment, we say lowest bidder. Should we go with lowest bidder? That's the reason today we all do it. What we do call is first do the technical analysis, technical bid, and then we go to the price bid. Price bid later, commercial bid is later. First we look at technical bid. Technical evaluation is done. Once we are happy, those shortlisted from there, only those financial bids are open. So you need to have combination. So lastly, got on short-term cost savings. Change the evaluation. We need to look at long-term policy, not short-term policy. Short-term may be quick fix, it's not going to help us. Like people have been talking about vaccine is going to come up tomorrow. No, sorry, it takes time. Because you're dealing with human beings, you need to go for trials. You need to see the reaction inside, side effects, and so many other things to study. So it takes time. You can't expect tomorrow morning the vaccine to be released. Maybe trial versions are, but the final product takes time. And then they have to start manufacturing it. What is called a good question? Before that, again, I would like to put a question. What is the difference between fine and penalty? I'm sure when you go to library, when you return the book late, or when you are on the road, the traffic constable catches you. Do they use the word fine or penalty? Either in the library or on the road, the police constable. What's the difference between these two words? Because unless you start questioning it, you will not get the answers. You need to have conceptual clarity of each of them. That's where I said learn two words, but that two words with conceptual clarity. What your librarian is doing is only fine. What the police constable on the road is doing only fine. Neither of them have a right to impose penalties. Penalty is only by the honorable court. Only judiciary can impose. That's where we say Indian Penal Code, IPC. So somebody can't just do that. What's a good question? A good question is one which makes you to think, go deeper into it, understand it. That's a good question. There are a number of characteristics of a good question. You can have more than one answer. Some questions have may multiple answers. But depending on the context, you need to use an appropriate answer. I have a very simple question. Recently I was talking to somebody who was getting married. And the girl came to me, give me the invitation. I said, you are getting married. My parents Nagana tribe pettuntaru meeku. Yes, sir, Nagana tribe. I said, what is Natra? She is black. That means you never looked at it. Question, start questioning. Questioning is very, very important. Make sure read it to make sure. When you start questioning it, then you'll go back. Oh, what I understood seems to be wrong. Let me go back and read once again. My dear young friends, when you're reading, you need to have 4 sights. You need to have a sight, you need to have insight, you need to have a hindsight, you need to have foresight. Drishti undalandi, antardrishti undali, sukshma drishti undali, dura drishti undali. Not just reading is enough. To read in between the lines is more important. A lot of hidden meaning is there. Are we reading that part of it? Sight, insight. Hindsight, recall your past knowledge, what you learned in school or junior college, all that knowledge is required today. You can't just ignore it. That's required. You need to have it. Hindsight. And think about foresight. What the kind of technology is going to come tomorrow? All that you have to learn and be ready when you join the industry. So you need to have sight, you need to have insight, you need to have hindsight, you need to have foresight, you need to have it. So can be asked in the same question can be asked in different ways. Think about it. How best I can present the question to the speaker so they can get the answer. And can't be answered just in the book. If you give the bookish answers, some of the recruiters may not like it. Let me tell you. That's where then you go deeper into it and then bring your own answers. Yes. In exam hall, we have to write the things, what is there in the books. But in interviews, conversations, it's different. Depending on context, you think about it. So, makes you think about your life. When you start questioning it, it starts thinking about yourself. What am I doing? Just go and sit down quietly. All of you celebrate birthdays, celebrating parties and cake cutting and so many other things are doing. Do you know what a birthday is? It's a time for you to introspect, retrospect, and prospect for the future. You need to retrospect, what did it last 1 year or done? Did I really achieve something? Did I really gain something? Did I mount myself as an asset to the company tomorrow where I'm going to join? Or am I going to be liable? Retrospect yourself. You need to do that. Introspect, see what I need. And prospect for the future. You need. That's what the birthday is. But instead we celebrate and come back over. You already lost 1 year of your life when you're coming to the next birthday celebration. Please understand. What did I gain this 1 year? Did I utilize properly this 1 year, which is given to me by the God? Because we don't know when the life is ends. Uncertain. Nobody knows. When is that? Are we able to utilize? My dear friends, another question. Quite often students keep saying, sir, we spent 4 years of our life in the college. I want to know who asked you to spend it. I don't think your parents have told you or teachers have told you. Then what is it you're talking about? Should we call spending or investment? Think about it. You are coming to the college to invest your time so it will ensure the future is safe for you tomorrow. How carefully you are investing every minute of your time. Please understand, every minute is valuable. Once you lose it, you can't get back that minute. Can you get back yesterday? Tell me if somebody can help me. I'll give him a big prize money. Not possible. Each and every minute, each and every second is valuable in our life. If we lose it, tomorrow is gone. Tomorrow we will not be able to get back. That's not possible. So makes you want to read and know more and makes you smarter. What we want is smart people to join the organization. So are you smart enough? Smart doesn't mean physical appearance. Sorry, that's not it. Smart in your subject, what you're talking about. So look at the example of gasket. We talked about it. Why we start questioning it, and we could go to root cause and finally find out we need to think about our purchasing policies. Another way to look at it, how technique. How technique is used for seeking a practical solution to a problem. That's where we use a technique called how start questioning it. By like the way we asked earlier, why series of times, the same way here, by asking how a few times, you can identify the right solution. So start questioning it how. It is useful technique for managing creative change you want to bring in. Bring in the change in yourself first and foremost. You're an entrepreneur, you're self-responsible citizen. Please understand this point. You are a self-responsible citizen. You should know what the changes you wanted. Think about it. Be creative in whatever you're doing. Creativity is need of the hour. You need to be creative and innovative in nature. My dear young friends, I'm not asking for invention. Are you at least innovative in nature? Innovate or evaporate. We don't need to. Industry is looking at the young boys and girls who have the innovative mindset to come and join. If not for creativity, if not invention, at least innovative is required for them. Because please understand, when you join industry, nobody is there to help you. It's a reality like this. You have to learn everything on your own. Whereas college, your teachers are there, your friends are there, so many others are there to help you. Once you come to the college, you have to learn on your own. You have to struggle on your own, is what happens. So be creative. Lingering in a question mode doesn't come naturally to most people. That questioning start probably at the end of the day, tomorrow night will start posing questions. Why don't you all have WhatsApp groups? Why don't you pose a question every day morning? A small question, I'm not saying big question, which may have only one word or one line answers. Start posing questions. Let me tell you, 15 years back, I started this questioning. There's most of the students who run with me, they used to say, Sai Kumar, I have a question, bhag jao. You run away, what is it I'm going to lose it? There are some students who used to come forward and ask me, sir, what is the question for the day? So maybe they try and explore and come back and give me the answers, or at least they note down the questions. So please try to face the question. Don't run away from the questions. If you start facing it, tomorrow it will help in your lifetime. We are conditioned from an early stage just to keep the answers coming in. As I said, in LKG class, A for apple. It helps people to adopt a more creative habit of thinking. If you can start questioning it, you'll develop the habit of thinking skills to develop it. Otherwise, you're not thinking. You're just by hearting and reproducing the exam heart. Yes, you'll get your 80%, 90%, but that's not going to be helpful to us. When you're looking for breakthroughs, give them a sense of control. When you're looking for a breakthrough, don't allow your focus to deviate. Focus on it. And then you have a sense of control, and don't allow your mind to deviate. It's very, very difficult to control. I understand the problem. But you need to start practicing. Yes, you can start focusing on it, can happen. So when you're looking for breakthroughs, give them a sense of control, what is required. If you make a regular practice, it can foster a stronger culture of collective problem solving, and truth seeking can happen. You need to have regular practice. Don't say today you will start posing questions and tomorrow again back to. Okay, Hindi mein bolte hain, kutte ki doon tedi ki tedi dekhi. That's not. You need to practice it. Again, go back to school days. Our English teachers have taught us, practice makes a person perfect. Did they teach you? Yes. Is that right? You never questioned. You said, yes, practice makes perfect. Maybe generally we have been told practice makes a man perfect. Is that right? Have you looked at it? I'll give a very simple example. Just listen to me with concentration. You asked me to practice, I'm practicing it. 7 1 is 7, 7 2 is 13, 7 3 is 21, 7 1 is 7, 7 2 is 13, 7 3 is 21, 7 1 is 7, 7 2 is 13, 7 3 is 20. What happened? I practiced. You asked me to practice, 10 times I practiced. Have you realized? I said 7 to the 13, I said it. So that means just blindly mucking up, not blind practice. So perfect practice is required to practice. Then we can become perfect. Not practice makes perfect. Perfect practice is required. The way you're doing things has to be on the right platform, right path. You need to have the right thinking is very, very important. You need to focus on it. If you make a regular practice, it can foster a stronger culture of collective problem solving, and truth seeking can happen. Select a challenge you care deeply about it. What do they want? Let people challenge you. It's for us to go back. Let me tell you, about a few years back, I was chairing a session in one of the IIMs, and one of the young researchers had come and talked about presenting on robotics in healthcare sector. He was talking about it. And for every second sentence, he was saying USA, 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 America, America. As a person sitting there at the end of it, I said, I compliment the young researcher who done great work, but you should also realize the concept of robotics was known to us in the Mahabharata days itself. I don't know how many of you know about it. At the end of the Kurukshetra battle, when Pandavas went to the king Dhritarashtra, you know whom he wanted to meet? He said, "Mere pyare putra Bhim kahan hai?" And Bhim is only physically strong, mentally is weak. The Lord Krishna, who sends the trouble, he really signaled him not to go there. Because his pyare putra is Duryodhana, not Bhima. Look at, that's where we put the Iron Bhima. Iron Bhima has gone there and he crushed. So the concept of robotics was known to us. Yes, then he said, "No, sir, I totally disagree with you." I said, "Who asked you to agree with you?" The more we disagree, the more we learn. You will go back and do further research and comment presentation. I will also go back and do further research and come and talk about it. There is nothing wrong in disagreements. So be open to that kind of things. So you will give your full attention and want to engage others and think about it. If you fully involve yourself, full attention is required, then automatically all others will fall in line in the team. That's happening. Question burst methodology. Let me move to the team. It's best to include 2 or 3 people who have a direct experience within the problem. In a team, let's say you form a team of 3 people or 4 people or 5, whatever the number is, depending on the project size and complexity. In that, at least you have to have one person who has some knowledge of the application domain to which you are developing software. So that person can help us, that person can guide us, put us in the right perspective, because every time we can't go back to the client to ask the details. It's best to include 2 or 3 people who have no direct experience with the problem, whose cognitive style worldview is starkly different from yours. When somebody has a different perspective, let them question it. Let them raise the questions. That will help us to go deeper into it. They'll come up with surprising, compelling questions that you would not have thought about. Because since he doesn't have that background, he puts his questions. That will make us to think. It's a powerful tool for thinking when somebody is raising questions. Because they have no practice ways of thinking about the problem and no investment in the status quo. Quite often we have been somehow used to spending. It's an investment. The same way when I go to the R&D labs, the management of the R&D labs, the officials of the R&D labs, they say, top officials, we are spending so much money on R&D. I went to one of the steel plant for assessment, and they were talking about the R&D, what the new products they are coming up, and the management said we are spending so much money on R&D. I asked them, who has to spend the money on R&D? My dear young friends, understand it is an investment you are making to come with new products for the future market. It's an investment, not spending. So don't use the word spending, it's investment. Same way, when you go to college, you're investing your time. Think about these kind of things. So because they have no practice base of thinking about the problem and no investment status quo can happen. What the kind of critical rules one can think about when you talk about question age? Let me put another question. You would have heard these 2 terms, jail and prison. What is the difference? Look at how many questions are coming up. I'm sure most of you are not able to answer it. Maybe there are 1 or 2 of you are able to answer it. Excellent. Jail is before conviction, prison is after conviction. When you are arrested, you put in the jail. During that time, you don't need to do any work. Once you're imprisoned, sentenced by the court to go imprisonment, then you have to work there in the jail, the prison. That's where we say it's a central prison. We don't use the word jail. If you go and see that, it's written as central prison. Jail is before conviction. Before the court says, yes, this fellow is convicted. No, till then, you are only in jail. You are not going to work. Even sometimes the lockups in the police station also is only jail. It's not a prison. So, are we looking at terms in depth? So, before opening the floor to the group, clearly spell out the rules what you wanted when you have discussion, when you have team performance. Let's have clearly rules. Why don't you circulate the agenda in advance so people come prepared to the meetings? And you need to have clearly laid down rules, time, and everything, and then you can get the what you wanted. People can contribute only questions to this one. Let them raise questions, let them bombard with questions. Make a note on the flip chart. Let's have questions. What is wrong with it? And those who try to search solutions or respond to other questions should be redirected. Let them wait. Let the people speak out first. We're stopping, we're interrupting it. Let the people think about it. Let those ideas all list out on the flip chart. No preambles or justification to frame a question will be allowed. Do quick emotional to check up front, whatever you have it. Brainstorming the questions you need to wait. Brainstorm. Set a timer and spend the next 4 minutes collectively generating as many questions as possible. You need to have a timer. Maybe depending on the problem, maybe 4 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever time you have it. And collectively generate as many questions as possible. Then from there, explain what are the high priority questions, what are the medium priority questions, what are the low priority questions you can take down. And once high priority, and when you go for a next round of client meeting, you need to seek all the information which is required by you. Maybe you can go to library and take a book of that application domain and get at least some basics. And so you can go there. And the more surprising and provocative the question is, the better. If the surprising and provocative nature of the question, that's better for you. So it will start making you think. Try for at least 15 questions to get from the team, whatever you have it. Time pressure in number helps participants to stick to the questions only. Please understand here we are only talking about questions, not answers. Answers will do a separate session. Keep them short, simple, and fresh. Make sure your question also short, simple, straightforward. And also you should know to whom you are addressing this question. Because when you have panel discussion, there are 4 people sitting on the stage. You should know to whom you are addressing it. To be clear. Question an innate human behavior that's actively subverted and systematically shut down by people over a period of time. Go back to school days. That's where we say, बचपन से बड़ा कोई स्कूल नहीं, curiosity से बड़ा कोई स्कूल नहीं. Develop that curiosity is very, very important. Go back to childhood. Unknowingly keep posing so many questions. Why? But what happens over a period of time? Our parents say, hey, stop all that nonsense. You first read this book. And we have been killed over a period of time. And so start looking at it. Identify quest for you. Another simple question. What are these branches you are? Maybe some of them commerce and science faculty also. The present day, everybody talks about stay home, stay safe. Very, very common. What is the difference between safety and security? Today we talk about security issues. Cyber security is becoming a major problem. Have you ever thought about it? What's the difference between safety and security? Simple here. Bachana or bachana ho gaya answer. Safety is, we wear a safety helmet, safety seat belt. Safety is against accidental attacks. Security is against intentional attacks. Why we're talking so much on cyber security? Somebody from somewhere remote corner, somebody is hacking our sites or hacking into our accounts and drawing the whole money, and next morning we see there's no money in our account. So you need to talk about security issues. So identify quest. Study the questions looking for those search the new pathways. Study those questions which make you to think about exploring different dimensions. This month, I think shortly we're going to have Ganesh festival. Look at when there's a competition between Ganesh and his brother. Where Ganesh cannot run faster than his brother. What Ganesh has done it. He ran differently and won the race. He did not chase his brother because it's not possible. So don't think that I had to go only in that direction. No, think about other directions. Run differently. Either run faster than the competitor whoever is there, or run differently and won the race. It is possible. You need to think about it. Explore different ways in which you can solve the problems. You need to think about it. So adapt and innovators focus on the job to be done and what takes the problem to be solved. Please understand you are on the job to be done, so you need to have that mindset to solve the problem, whatever is posed. And you need to think about it. In Hindi, we say, when this problem is posed, there are 2 ways one can look at it. Either bhag lo or bhag lo. Either you take part or run away from the problem. It's for you to decide what you want to do. Think about it. I have another question. I'm not going to give an answer for this. I will leave it to you. I think probably next week, rather this week, we have the Independence Day is coming up on the 15th of August. We do flag hosting. You're all aware of it. Same way in January 26th, also we have Republic Day. There also people are doing the flag hoist. Have you ever thought about what is the difference between these two? We never questioned, we never thought about it, we never gone depth into it. What these local people are doing is wrong actually. Independence Day as a symbolic to say that we got independence, the flag will come down, the British flag, and our flag will go up. So we are hoisting the flag to say our flag will up. On a Republic Day, where is the question of rehoisting the flag? Beyond which I won't think. I don't want to give the answer fully. Now you think and get the answer on your own. Because this week we have the Independence Day, before that you should be able to find the answer. What is the difference in this? So what corrective actions will you personally take in the coming days to find potential solutions suggested by the new questions, whatever is for? You need to think about concrete actions you will take it. Past is past. Maybe you're in the first year, so you lost already some time. Maybe you're in second year, you lost some time. Maybe in third year, you lost some time, and so on. But what's that now? We do concrete solutions are required. Arriving at assumptions, challenging questions is essential, but never sufficient. Make a habit of asking questions. Another question. I know you must be wondering what this was only putting questions. Let me also tell you, most often I give the answers. When I go to colleges, when I conduct the programs, I don't give answers. I said, I'm not here to give the answers. Since the online platform where we may not be able to meet the whole day, that's why I'm giving the answers. Go back to again school days, we learned two words, house and home. What is the difference? I think this is a too small a question. I should not give the answer. So I leave it to you. In our days, we used to say, mother is a housewife. But today, what is it you're saying? She is a homemaker, you're saying. That's a clue for you. I will not go beyond that. You think about it. So make a habit. 3 rounds of the questions first, exercise for a given issue, whatever you have it. Even with 3 rounds, the time investment is minimal, please understand. Because real life problems are large in size, complex in nature. That may not be sufficient. You need to go deeper into it. Students indeed to have questions, but do not go on to ask them in the class. Maybe why don't you use your own brain? God has given the brain. Brain has immense power. Quietly think about it. Reflect it. Radiate it. The entire library is available at your fingertips on your smartphone. Unlike our days, I remember I'm a product of Usmania. And those days, all this technology we didn't have. We were depending on the Usmania Street Central Library. And then there's another library, I don't know how many of you are aware, in Afzalganj, what is called State Central Library. We used to go there and sit and prepare our own notes and all that. Today, you don't need to go anywhere. You know, smartphone, you can access whatever material you want. Why don't you use it? And so start questioning, why not? Don't be afraid. I have another question. What is the difference between fear and afraid? Don't ask me. This question I will not answer. I leave it to you. Because if I start answering everything, then what will you do? You'll go back and scratch your head and maybe discuss, debate, and finally come out with the answers. And let me come into the other side of the dimension. We have been talking about question. Let's look at the other side. Answer questions. When you're a student, you are judged by how well you answer questions. That's what happens in the classroom environment. When you're a student, you are judged by how well you're answering questions. But what happens in real life? Be it in personal life or professional life. You are judged by how good your questions are. Please note there's a difference. How good your questions are. People can become great persons, great entrepreneurs, great something if they can ask good questions. I don't want you to be job seekers anymore. You should be job creators, employment generators. Enough you have done it, employment seekers, employment generators. You need to focus on it. I'm sure most of you have seen this movie Malaysia. A weaver, when he can design equipment, why you cannot? He is a self-made engineer. He is not studied. You are not lucky enough to go to an engineering college, study 4 years of BE or BTech. When he can design something, why you cannot do it? If you're not seeing that movie, maybe it's available on net, please watch it. If not, his stories are available on the YouTube, please watch it. When he can design something on his own, and he finally got the Padma Shri Award. He is not educated like you. He is a self-taught engineer. Please understand. Self-made engineer. You need to think about that kind of things. So in life, you are judged by how good your questions are. People can become great persons, great entrepreneurs, great something, they can ask good questions. People often come together to tackle challenges by asking one another tough questions. Don't make life easy. Start putting questions. Tough questions. So people start thinking on it. Always just looking at the easy path, shortcuts. Shortcut will short circuit you. Please remember this. You need to short circuit will happen. Don't have shortcuts. So when, where, and how, why the status quo should be challenged. You need to start challenging it. You remember I talked about 5 W's and 1 H. Start questioning it. What is the use of questions? Let me put one more question to you in the present context. There's one word we have been hearing almost every day on TV. And whenever people meet, start talking about it. Even in print media, this is available. Pandemic, pandemic, pandemic. What is pandemic? I don't know. Have you ever thought about it? Questioning what is the difference epidemic and pandemic? There are two words. Please note this. Epidemic and pandemic. I want you guys to find on your own. I'm not here to answer. Start questioning it. Then you'll get the answers. Don't think day one you'll get all the answers. The more the questions you pose, you will get the answers. So think about it. The uses of question is to stimulate the people to think. It make you to think. To motivate the people, you need to start questions. To diagnose the people's difficulties, you need to question it. It's something like when I go to a doctor, I said, doctor, somehow I'm not feeling well. What does the doctor will do here? What is it not feeling well? Sir, I have pain. What is the pain? Where is the pain? Since how long the pain is? Look at the kind of questions coming out. Only then you'll be able to arrive at a root cause and give an appropriate treatment. So start think about it. So to diagnose the people's difficulties, you need to question it. To discover people's interest, you need to question it. Let's say all of you have had some difficulty when you joined your class 2, that is intermediate. You know, should I go for medicine or should I go for engineering? Should I go for biology? Should I go for commerce? You know, all this. And maybe because your friend has gone, that's it, so you've gone it. Or maybe your parents told you gone, or maybe your teachers told you gone. That's how majority is needed. So discover people's interest. You need to look at what the area is interesting to you and choose that path. My dear young friends, what is the subject you are doing it, please love that subject. And you can pursue deeper into it. To focus people's attention, you need to use questions. To encourage the application of concepts, you need to have questions. You learn so many concepts in the college. To apply it, you need to question it. To show relationships such as cause and effect relationships, you need to think about it. The another dimension you can think about is what if analysis. I'll give a very simple example with the time constraint. I'm not going to details. Your parents are paying annual income tax. Sorry, you can't escape. We're all taxpayers. But there are, within the legal framework, I can minimize my tax payable by investing in various schemes. You need to analyze which scheme will give me the maximum savings. Why don't you build a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, and put all the possible conditions, and at the end of it, you'll be able to get what is the best way I can invest so my tax payable is least. That's what we call it what if analysis. If I put some money in National Savings Certificate, what will happen? If I put some money in Prime Minister Relief Fund, what will happen? If I put this money from here to Public Provident Fund, what will happen? All the kind of things you can explore it. So what if is an excellent tool if you want to really explore, go deeper into the questioning it. Let's come to the, I know I've been talking about advantage of questioning. Let me also talk about pitfalls of questioning. Asking too many questions is not good. Asking questions answerable with a simple yes or no answer, don't waste your time and speaker's time. Asking too many short answers, recall-based questions also not worth it. Starting all questions with the same stem is also not correct. Asking questions when another strategy might be more better, we're wasting it. I know some of you met and getting irritated with so many questions I've been posing. One more question. What is the difference between irritation and frustration? Come on, guys, you use these words every day. I'm not going to answer, leave it to you. Questioning tips. Think your questions through before asking for it. Be clear and be specific what the information you are seeking from the speaker or teacher or whatever it is, maybe from your team leader. Be aware of your tone of voice. Your voice should be audible, crystal clear. And use open questions to get the person to share information what is required. Have patience. And take notes when you're asking a question. You must make note of that answer somebody is giving for you. Because human memory is short, we forget things. After 2 days, you come back. Hey, that fellow gave me answer here. What is that? Yes, make notes. You all are carrying smartphones. Why don't you make note in that smartphone? So tomorrow you can recall and do that if possible. And take notes. Be polite and courteous when asking questions. Don't shout at somebody. Ask only one question at a time. Don't put 10 questions to speakers. Use a closed question to ask for the help if required. Let me conclude it. Leaders should have the right attitude to welcome people's error and mistake open-hearted. As a team leader, you need to have soft corner to your own teams, right attitude to welcome people's. I don't know how many of you know, when Dr. Kalam was heading a project, space shuttle launching, unfortunately that time it collapsed. Dr. Kalam went to his boss, told him now it is failure. And the entire media is waiting there. What do I do? Boss said, don't worry, I will go and face the media. And he went and addressed the media. And he said, exactly in the 1 year, on the same date, we are going to launch the next space mission. Next year, they launched, it gone successfully. Again, the media is waiting there. Dr. Kalam went back to the boss. So the entire media said, now you go and face it. That's a true quality of leader. If failure happens, leader should own it. If success gives us the support. That's the true of leadership is what one can think about it. So you need to establish a very supportive and encouraging environment for people to explore it and experiment it and experience it. This is what happens. Judge a man by his questions rather than his answers. What the kind of questions is to probe further and further. I also worked on some applications in the police department. We do a lot of probing things. Interrogate the criminals. Unless we do interrogation, we can't get the truth. So that's where probing techniques are required. The unexamined life is not worth living. Examine everything. Explore everything. Experience everything. You need to think about it. Highest form of human excellence is to question oneself before others question. Why don't you question? Am I doing the right things? Start with, you are all now grown up. You'll be able to analyze. And don't give chance to somebody to question. You need to analyze yourself. Once you've learned how to ask relevant and appropriate questions, you have reached your goal. With these few words, I'd like to conclude here. I'd like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to share my little knowledge, and thank all those. I see some of my friends are also sitting on the other side. Some of the faculty from various colleges are sitting on the other side. Over to the organizers.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Jitesh, Student Coordinator, CSI MBSR Student Branch, to propose a vote of thanks.
Yeah, please go ahead. Somebody has got a question?
Is there any questions? Somebody has a question to ask?
Yes, anyone, ma'am, can someone moderate from the YouTube streaming, ma'am, from the live chat over there?
Yeah, I will
Sir,
just.
we have a question in the
Yeah.
sir, we have a question in the comment section.
Yes.
Vinay Raj is asking, is it right to answer a question with a question?
Can you a bit louder, please? Not audible.
Vinay Raj is asking, is it right to answer a question?
Yeah, we need in between some disturbance.
Yeah, sir. So the question is it right to answer a question with a question?
No. See, why you want to share among the team? Yes, fine. But in a classroom or a conference environment, no. You raise the question. Let's seek the answers from the experts who are there. Maybe in a team, yes. Raise the question, answer it. If you know the answer, let the people think about it, or the better way is give them a time, let them also think about it. So they'll also come with the answers. Then you can come and collective consciously arrive at a solution which is better suited. Yeah. Oh, I don't have any book. I'm only talking extempore from my own experience. Somebody's putting up a question there. No books, please. These are all by experience we talk. If there's a book, I would have prepared a PPT and presented it. Good.
Sir, Chandra Andy.
Yeah, Chandra, yes. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, what I feel is we do not encourage our kids to question us. Somehow,
Yes.
that is the main reason. Now, as you are dealt with the subject, I feel there should be a period, at least once in 2 weeks, where every student is forced to ask a question. That's
Good.
how they will generate the habit of asking the question. Otherwise, I remember, many of our customers saying that you people, you never ask questions. For whatever you say, we say, you nod your head. We don't know whether you understood or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the probably weakness the Indian education system probably for the last 30, 40 years has created.
Yes.
Okay. Hope that will be changed now. And then, so from the kindergarten itself, we should there should be a question period.
Yes.
Okay. Whatever question they want to ask, first let them gain the courage to ask the question.
Yes.
And the teachers also should give that feeling that asking question is not anything wrong.
Yeah.
We are always afraid. If I ask the question, I don't know. A teacher might take it wrong. So we should inculcate the habit of asking the question. Hope the future will be more conducive for this.
Yes. Yeah, presently some of the teachers do encourage questioning in the classrooms. There's no doubt. Yeah, may not be all of them are doing it. Yes, majority of them started doing it.
Good.
Sai Kumar sir, good afternoon sir.
Yeah, Badruddin sir, बताइए.
Sir, generally ये tendency देखी गई है sir. Teachers allow नहीं करते हैं sir बच्चों को क्वेश्चन में. So how to mold this orientation to the teachers?
Sir, first and foremost, whether our teachers are fully prepared to the classroom, the topic what they are teaching it. If they are
Yes,
fully
sir.
prepared, they have the depth of understanding of the subject, they will allow the questions to be asked. If they are not fully prepared, yes, they will not encourage questioning in the class. So we need to look at as teachers. Yes.
Yes sir. Thank you. Sir.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Yeah. Organizers?
Harshita?
Yes, ma'am. So now I request Jitish, CSI MBSR student branch, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of CSI MBS student branch, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on Art of Questioning, a Way of Life, organized by our organization. At the outset, I thank our speaker, Professor M.L. Sai Kumar sir. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. We are thankful to our faculty advisors for their motivation. A special thanks to student coordinators, student chapter convener, and student branch counselor for unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to all the participants for active participation. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to end of this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai Kumar garu. Thank you.
Thank you.
As a SBC, I would like to thank Sai Kumar sir. This is the second session, sir. We have started with role of teachers, the changing time, followed by art of questioning. Thank you so much, sir, for your support. And special thanks to Chandra Dasaka, sir, CSI Hyderabad chapter chairman, for giving us the opportunity to do such good webinars for the students as well as faculty. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for joining the webinar.
Thank you. Bye.
Is there any feedback, madam? Hello? Hello?
Link has been posted in the message section. Kindly fill the feedback form. All the participants are. The link of feedback form is posted in the message section.
Sir, voice is not clear, sir.